So exactly what is the Golden Age? What does it mean? So the Golden Age is a state of consciousness in which you go beyond the veils of illusion, and you access to the truth, the pure awareness of your divine presence, and you are living as an enlightened being in which you are able to transcend time. So we transcend the 3D dimension in which time and space is limited, and we shift from that state into pure consciousness. So it is said that in 50 years, 100 million people will reach that state of super consciousness. Yet, to reach that state, it's an ongoing process of purification, because 97% of the process is purification, and going through the different phases of ascension, evolution, genetic liberation, to be able to free from the wheel of duality. So it's a constant ongoing process. And this means that you need to activate within you the different stages. You need to activate within you all these frequencies, and sometimes it cannot be done by oneself. You need that someone that has gone through the process and has activated within that person all these frequencies, that it can activate within you the frequencies. Because I will share later on, but all the scriptures that we can read in the different religions, there's different levels of the mind, and we can read the scriptures from the different levels. If your state of consciousness is not evolved, the first level of the mind is that you read the scripture and it's literally. So all that you read is all that you receive, and you are not able to access beyond this information because your consciousness is not ready for that. And I'll share with you the rest of the levels of the mind that need to be opened in order to be able to access the higher frequency, and then activate within you this higher frequency. So this the Golden Age happens first within you, then it happens at the level of relationships, that it happens at the level of communities, and it happens at a level of the whole world. So the previous Golden Ages, it happened just a level of communities. So it happened in Atlantis, or it happened in Egypt, but it didn't happen to the whole world. This time, it will come a time that the whole world would be at that place. So this is what is going to be different, and the earth is not going to descend again. This time it's going to an ascension of spiral, and it will move from where we are right now. And this is the end of duality for all living beings on earth, the ones that they choose, of course. So the Golden Age begins within you, and this begins inside of you, the cycle in which there will be the ascension process, the liberation process. Liberation means that you have genetic liberation, not only from yourself, but also for your family lineages, seven generations backwards and forwards. You literally are liberated from that. And then, as I said previously, first you do it at an individual level, and then at a collective level. And as you do the ascension process, then you merge into your soul family, and you also purify the soul family. So it's an ongoing process of expanding and moving to the next level. It's a never-ending process. Yet the first and most important is the genetic liberations, which means free of karma, free of duality, free of pain, free of suffering. And this is the most important process that we are going to move the next years. And this plasma light that is coming in, it will discharge every time even higher and higher frequencies, pushing us, literally pushing, to move forward and to do the process. So this means we need to dissolve all the lower densities that we hold within our unconscious mind, and we need to purify the energetic field. We need to purify the DNA. We need to purify the Akashic records, the meridians, the nadis. So we need to develop the proper receptor points to receive this plasma light that is coming in, to be able to assimilate the energy that is coming. And if we don't have developed the receptor points when the plasma light comes in, then it can create issues at all levels. It can create issues at a physical level, at emotional level, mentally, spiritually. There's people that already are suffering for that. There are people that they start to awaken some sensory perceptions, and they do not understand what is going on, and they feel that they are ill, they have a problem, they go to the doctor, and actually what is happening, they start to receive this, they don't understand what's going on. So all the chakras are connected to your organs and parts of your body, and they need to be opened, restructured, in order to be able to receive all this plasma light, to raise the frequency at the level that is needed. And this means to go through the whole journey to achieve that state of consciousness. So as we have shown the macro picture, this allows you to understand this is where we are heading towards, and we need to bring down at the micro level all this that is going on. So we need to understand where we are going to, and then as we know, how do we do that? How do we evolve? How do we ascend? How do we liberate? How do access to that state of super consciousness and the vibrational and the frequency of the golden age? So that's why I created this new community called the Golden Circle of the New Earth, because it's about to bring the teachings, the path to return back home. It's about returning back into wholeness, back into source consciousness, and back into conditional love. So as we were saying, it's this process first is within and also in communities. If we gather in communities and we do the process together, we enhance the process in an accelerated way. So something that it could take decades for a person, even sometimes even lifetimes, it can be accelerated in that way. So there's a path that one must go through, changing the way that we understand life and how we live in harmony with all that surrounds us and within us. This is the first and foremost important thing, within us. So there's different phases of the soul in which we go through to purify the densities, to prepare for the ascension process, and then the genetic liberation. And it is necessary to dissolve all programming within you. The energetic body, the chakra systems, the Akashic records, the astral plane, the mental plane, the emotional body. And also, it's very, very important to prepare the physical vessel. Why? Because the physical vessel is what it needs to allow to receive these higher frequencies. And if the physical vessel is not prepared, then is when there's illnesses and problems. So this needs a whole preparation at all levels to go through this process. So as you are able to reach more light and vibrate at higher levels of frequency, you are able to bring in more soul extensions. And this means that these are parts of you that were left apart when you had some some traumas or some experiences in other lifetimes, in other star systems, and you need to bring them back, because this is about to reintegrate everything, all that is your higher self, into one being, embodying into the physical form. Ascending does not mean that we leave the physical body. It's ascending the vibration and then embodying the higher frequencies into the body, because we are creating the new earth here, not leaving the planet, but bringing in the frequencies and creating heaven on earth, literally. So the whole body needs to shift completely the endocrinology, the chemistries of the body. And as it does, as you go through this process of ascension, the body starts to secrete a golden liquid that changes the whole biology, and your system are ready to crystallize more light in the physical form. And as it happens, this is when the Christ consciousness starts to occur. And this is a whole teaching, a whole process that comes at later phases. So the first phases is about this deep purification. And as we go through this expanding consciousness, then is when we start to understand what the Christ consciousness is and how it happens within the body, how it transforms that, how we move into this divine human, and all the different processes that needs to take place. So in this process of transformation, the soul goes through different levels of the mind. To be able to go through the whole journey and access all the information, like I told you before, the first level is a level of the mind, is the literal level. All that you see is all that it is. You do not increase your level of consciousness at that level. You are not able to decode information beyond the literal, beyond what you see. You don't access the process of transitioning into higher levels of consciousness. And this is where the most part of humanity there reside right now. They cannot be done by yourself. You need someone that has gone through the process to activate the next levels of consciousness. Then it comes the second level of consciousness, and this is the level in which you start to be aware and the mind is awakened. The third level, the next level of the mind, is when you connect to the divine mind or the heavenly mind, and you start to receive all these downloads. The next level is the fourth level, which is the pure mind, the empty mind. And the empty mind is the level in which you reach the state of enlightenment, because there's no thoughts. And no thoughts, it is only possible when you have already purified everything within you. So the teachings at every level change according where you are able to receive and to understand. So the teachings are set in a level, explained in a way for every person to evolve to the next level of consciousness, because the person that is the level of just understanding literally what is happening is what they see, they are not able to understand the empty mind or the pure mind. This needs to first experience an awakened state, then experience the divine mind in order to be able to understand the rest of the evolution. Also, these levels of the mind, it also correlates to the yugas of time or the cycles of consciousness. And we are shifting from a cycle of one cycle of consciousness into the next cycle of consciousness. And this is where everything that we learned, everything that our mind is connected to the past to look for, to understand what's going to happen in the future, it won't work. Even in the spiritual traditions, even the spiritual teachings, they won't work, because most of the spiritual teachings, they come from the Piscean age, and they are held in a process of duality. So everything that comes from duality, it won't work. And this is where you need to be discerning the teachings that you are receiving, because if they come from a place of duality, it's not going to work anymore. It's attached to the past, and to a past that it's not going to repeat again, because this is a complete new cycle, and this will be different as all the cycles that ever planet Earth experienced before. So how do we live on this new Earth? When you live in a sacred geometric way of life, you are in harmony not only with the inner cycles, but also in the cosmic cycles. You are in a cosmic connection. And when you are at that level, that's when you can travel beyond time and space. And this is another physiologically. So many people are longing to see and experience these higher sensor perceptions, but if their frequency field is not at the right place or at the frequency that matches, sometimes what they see can affect them and push them back in their journey. And this is not going to help them. So you need to create the roots, the right foundations, have a strong foundation, just like a tree, for them to ascend fast, strong, and steady. So you need to handle the frequency that is coming down, because the body otherwise can be into a shock. And this can bring into a freeze mode, depending on the energies and how abundant they are. So the Golden Age circle, the I Am Presence community, this is what we want to offer, all these teachings every month, with transmissions, with preparation for the physical body and preparation for everything, in order to create this foundation to then raise up and steady and strong and bring in all these frequencies in a way that can be smooth, in a way that can be magical. But for this to happen, there's these foundations that need to be in place. So all the transmissions, it's about to remove all the resistances, the obstacles, to then be able to become and transform into love. So when we return back to love, you return back to the source of grace, and then you are living in bliss. And this is what is about this golden age: transform our lives into bliss states, into beauty, into love, into cooperation. It's a completely shift in a way that we experience reality, in a way that we talk to each other, in a way that relate, and in all areas of society, not just the personal level, not just when we meditate, not just when we meet in community, but in all levels of society. This is the great shift that is going to happen. So the fall of consciousness was the fall into duality. So once the five senses started to crystallize more and more, what happened, it was the inability to perceive for the greater senses, which is the pineal gland activating and then opening the crown chakra and connecting to the higher senses. And this is what it means, the fall. The fall means that all that we were able to perceive was shut down. And then it's about to opening and receiving again all these higher senses, which are the original human birthright. And is moving from the three-dimensional plane into not just the 5D, but also the multi-dimensional planes. Once you open your higher sense perceptions, once you raise your vibration, you just are able to shift into the different dimensions of consciousness at will, and you can travel through your light body. Yet you need to activate your light body. You need to do all these things, and this requires a process. This requires to do the inner work. So this new this community wants to bring these teachings to return back into this original state and to support you in your connection with your soul. It's about going through this acceleration process of spiritual growth to be able to evolve in all areas of your life, because all areas are going to shift. Everything is going to be completely different. The way that the relationships are held will be completely different. The way that money, we perceive money right now, will shift. Everything, the way that we relate with our bodies will change. The way that we connect with nature, it will be more in a conscious way. And this changes the way that we eat, the way that we connect with nature. Though everything will be completely different. So it's about receiving guidance on how to heal the body, how to heal the mind, how to manifest, how to be in more balanced and fulfilled relationships, how to be in this flow of abundance, how to find your purpose in life, how to free from suffering and the karma of the past. And karma, it doesn't mean something that you did wrong. It's the cause and effect. You create a cause and it had an effect that it wasn't aligned with the cosmic laws. And it's about bringing all these actions into the cosmic law, and then the karma is complete. So it's about understanding all these teachings as well. So it's about all this community. It's about giving you support and guidance and information, healing, transformation, supporting you through love and light to prepare you for this universal shift. And this year, 2023, this next month, there will be a huge awakening for humanity. But next year, 2024, the frequencies that will come in will awaken even deeper, even more people, and the soul will start to ignite and calling and saying, this is the time for me. I am ready to ascend and to go through this process. Now what? And this is what is now what? This community. How do I do the process? What is the process? How do I move to the next stages? How do I shift all that is happening within me that I don't even understand? How do I find answers? All this is about the community. And the community is here to stay here, to help people, not just at the beginning, but the whole process of ascension, giving the teachings, the tools, the answers, the questions, connecting people in a way that we create this new golden age together. Because as we are ascending and consciousness and moving in consciousness, we actually create the new earth, literally. We cannot expect that a new Christ come in to save us. It's us becoming the Christ and creating this new earth, becoming the divine manifestors of the new earth. And this is the ongoing process that we are going to move through. And that's why we are going to give all the teachings of the Christ consciousness, teachings on how to connect with the cycles of the earth and the universe. And these teachings is about to ascend, how we connect, but not just to know the information, but how we connect within us with these teachings, and how we transform and how we harness from all that is happening in the cosmic cycles for us to ascend and to move and expand consciousness. So we will be talking about the frequencies of love, on how to heal trauma and how to open the heart and how to access to multidimensional states of consciousness. We will be talking about abundance, unlocking belief systems, unlocking limitations, unlocking genetic inheritance, conscious relationships, how to change the paradigm of consciousness. So it's about talking the macro picture, but we need to bring in this macro picture into the micro. And this means, okay, I know now the picture, I know the point, the perspective, and now what? How do I work? How do I reach to that level? What's going on in my life that affects me? Then we need to work on both levels, or all the multi-dimensional levels, on how I change my reality and how I change the whole theme. And we will be talking about spiritual nutrition, because this is about preparing the body for this transition. And it is not about I wanna be fit or thinner, or no, it's about how do I nurture my body to be able to hold more light, to be able to transcend into the divine human, to be able to receive all this plasma light that is going to help me to reach higher states of consciousness.